In the next few minutes, we'll do our service after she finishes her presentation. But Ms. Soucier, it's all yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Anita Soucier. I live just back here near the radio station. I'm married to Vic Soucier from Marksville. I'm originally from Moorville, but we have been in Marksville since 1973. Dr. L.J. Mayu is my brother, and as I'm sure all of you know, he's coroner here in Avals Parish. I have one daughter. She's a doctor, Dr. Ashley Soucier. She is medical director of the Pediatric Emergency Department at Our Lady of the Lake Hospital in Baton Rouge. For the past few years, up until about a year or so ago, perhaps 2 years ago, I'm not quite certain as time flies, Dr. Chrissy Zaretsky worked with my daughter in the ER department at Our Lady of the Lake Hospital in Baton Rouge. And from there, Dr. Zaretsky moved to Florida. On the day of the accident, Dr. Zaretsky was one of the doctors in the emergency department in Gainesville. When the children were brought in, and she heard Marksville and saw Marksville, she immediately connected with my daughter Ashley because they had worked together and she knew that Ashley was from Marksville, Louisiana. So there was an immediate connection. Shortly thereafter, Chrissy, Dr. Zaretsky, was back in touch with my daughter to let her know that she was one of the attending physicians on that day. They were in touch, and a couple of months ago, Dr. Zaretsky reached out to Ashley and said, we really would like to do something for the families to let them know that, the care, we gave the utmost best care that we could, and that our hearts are with the families. So Ashley said, Dr. Zaretsky, you really need to be in touch with my mother because she lives in Marksville and she knows the families. So Dr. Zaretsky contacted me, and we have been in touch ever since. About a week ago, I received a packet from Dr. Zaretsky. She and the other caregivers and the emergency personnel did fundraisers and raised money, and they raised almost $3,500, which they wanted to divide amongst the 5 families. I have 3 statements that were sent to me. The first one is from Dr. Christina Zaretsky. To the families involved in the accident on I-75, I have such heavy hearts for you and your families. The accident was a tragedy and touched the lives of many here in Florida. I was one of the physicians working in the pediatric emergency department that day when the children were trauma alerted and brought in from the rescue crews. From the moment our pre-hospital responders who arrived on the scene, up and including all the moments of providing care in the emergency department, our hearts and hands were focused on doing all that was possible for these children. Up until these children were stabilized in the pediatric intensive care, our hearts, minds, and hands were focused on taking care of your family's loved ones. This accident really touched me as I realized these children were traveling with a church group from Louisiana. I am a physician who trained in Louisiana and grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I then saw another colleague, another nursing staff from the former institution I had worked in, and these people were reaching out to me and asking if I had been involved with the care. We connected on this, and the ball began rolling as to collaboration and ideas on how we could help. I reached out to the Alachua County Chiefs as well as the medical director, and we began fundraising. One of the paramedics on the scene also works in our emergency department, and she was first on the scene. She was very involved in the delivery of care that day. She felt compelled to do something too. She really rallied some plans into action and helped to arrange 2 different nights of fundraising. One night was held at a bar and grill with a percentage of food proceeds going to this cause, and waitresses who donated their tip money to this effort too. Another night was held at a lounge. T-shirts were sold, and again a percentage of the proceeds went to this cause, which was hosted by Alachua County Fire Rescue. We had a great turnout at both events and were able to raise almost $3,500. We are so grateful to make this connection with your families and hope to bring you some comfort in your loss. Just know deep in our hearts and within this community from Gainesville, we are sincere in our gifts to you. We hope our efforts are able to bring you and your precious families some peace. Sincerely, Dr. Christina M. Zaretsky Ben. This statement is from Jody Lindsay. She is an ACFR EMS lieutenant with the Shands Pediatric Emergency Department as a paramedic. To all of the families and friends that were impacted by the I-75 accident, my thoughts and prayers have been with you since that day. I was the second ambulance on the scene. I took 2 female patients and a boy, all trauma alerts. Later, I transferred another boy to Shands that had been taken to a different hospital in town. All of my patients remained calm despite the circumstances, and this really helped me to be able to help them more efficiently. I'm honored to have been a part of helping the people that I was able to, and humbled by the bravery that you all showed that day. This call took a piece of me with it. It's one I will never forget, and this is why I felt the need to try to do a little more for the families. I know that nothing can take away your pain, but hopefully the donations that we collected can help take away some of the stress. I hope that knowing that so many people have had you in their thoughts, prayers, and hearts will help you all to find peace. Sincerely, Jody Lindsay. The last statement is from Jennifer Jones. I took care of 2 of the kids that came in that day. I held the hand of a brave girl who had significant injuries and continued to remain calm given the circumstances. I reassured her that I would stay with her and she was not alone. I stayed with her until she went to her assigned room upstairs. I also helped take care of a young man who, despite what he had been through and witnessed, he was kind, calm, and one of the most amazing people I have ever met. He changed the way I look at life, and I will be forever grateful for that. I think about these kids daily and constantly wonder if they're doing okay. I still pray for them and hope that one day everyone involved will find peace. Respectfully, Jennifer Jones. I took the liberty of making copies of these 3 notes that were sent from these caregivers on that day and have attached a check to each set of copies. First check I have here is made payable to Reverend Eric Descant in memory of Brianna Descant.
The reason why it's made to me, she didn't know Derek's name or your name, but it's going to be turned over to you, of course. So.
And who were you? Ashley, that's my daughter's name. And I would recommend that mother's here tonight. Okay. God bless you. Okay. I have a check here made payable to Allie Laborde in memory of Kara Descant. And I might mention that I am at Evolves Public Charter School on Wednesdays and for board meetings. And Kara was an 8th grade student there and very much loved by the staff and the student body. You have these beautiful girls. Of course, let me hug this beautiful baby. God bless all of you. I have a check here payable to Monica Sprinkle in memory of Sierra Bordlin. I might mention that Monique and Stan and Vic and I have been friends for a long time. I have a check here payable to Anna Strother in memory of Joel Cloud. I have a check here payable to Michael Warren in memory of Jeremiah Warren. Please know that everyone in this community, I'm sure in the state, many parts of the country, continue to have you and your families in our prayers. And for those of you who are still healing from your bodily injuries, please know that our prayers continue to be with all of you. I will be back in touch with Dr. Zaretsky and Jody Lindsay and Jennifer Jones to let them know that I was here tonight, that I got to meet with each of the families, and please know that their thoughts and prayers continue to be with all of you. I have expressed our thanks for the wonderful care rendered on that day and the following days. And please know that our prayers continue to be with all of you. And if there's anything we can do for any of you, we're just a phone call away. God bless all of you.